learn from my mistakes. Another story that I would like to tell you is a story of having agents and special tour operators on the vehicle, and how difficult it is because the amount of pressure that's put on you is immense. And as a guy, there's this whole charisma factor about it, and a factor of, I want to say, primal heroism, if that would be a way of describing it. And it's also quite nice actually getting dressed and looking the part. But when your lodge manager calls in and says, "Look, you've got these guys coming in, you need to perform," and they're there for about 4 days, and you know that the leopards have not been seen for a while, all the guides will know what I'm talking about. It is quite an experience and a lot of pressure to put on someone to perform and give these guests this experience so they can talk good about the lodge and the game reserve. And I think I did very well up until day 3. And on day 4, I realized driving out on the game reserve, specifically the road's name was Grass Owl, and I'm driving into the morning sunrise, and I know that the only animal we've not yet had on game ride is a leopard. So now I need to show them a leopard, but I know that it's highly unlikely, and I hear on the radio that in the northwestern corner there's lions, and I drive and I see some lion tracks in the road, but I tell the agents just to have some kind of relief and hope that these are leopard tracks and not lion tracks. But all I'm hoping to do is get off the vehicle and walk a little bit and clear my head so that I can continue with the game drive. And with this story, I basically get off the vehicle, I greet the guest, I've got my hat, and I start following the tracks. And they wiggle waggle through the bush, and for about the first 50 meters they're on the road, and then they turn off the road. And I thought, okay, well, I'm going to just turn off the road with the tracks. And in my mind, these lines on the northwestern corner, because you've got an idea of the game reserve and the prides, and they said the herd vocalization, then the rest of the game viewers are following up on that side. And I just thought, this is not that fresh, it's sandy substrate, it's very difficult to tell the age of the tracks. And I walk another 50, 60 meters into the sickle bush, and out of the corner of my eye, as my head is down, I see there is a snake-like body coming up through the grass, and I realize, but wait a minute, that's a lion getting up. And there's one lion, there must be more lions. So I basically lift my head, tilt my head, and I see there's the rest of the 6 of a pride of 7 total lions getting up. I mean, we about facing each other about 8-10 meters away. I'm alone there with hat in hand, and I basically start running. And what you need to understand is one of the first rules in books written about walking safaris and being in the bushes: don't run. And by this time, I'm already a trails guide for quite a few years, and had many experiences. But for some reason, I just started running. And I guess I'm about 20 meters away from them. And in my head, this thought, don't run, pops up, and I think to myself, but Kunrad, you've already started running. I mean, you can't just stop and say, let's try this again and see if you can get out safely. This is not going to work. And so I realized the only thing I can do is actually run a little bit faster. I accelerate as fast as I can going to the vehicle, but I'm waiting for these claws to basically grab me from the back and pull me down, and I'm just waiting. And I've got this hat in hand going around the bend like a athlete with a baton around the relay track, and I see the vehicle, and I just see these tour operators and agents get up on their vehicle, and I see their reaction, and I realize that something is obviously fantastic for them, and I get to the vehicle safely, thank God, and I just see these three lions trotting behind me. I think the rest went to bed. And so I grabbed the radio and I said, Oscar, Oscar, or I can't even remember. But I remember the guy answering and he had a nice laugh about it. He said, yeah, that will be the last time we're looking for the lions like that. We've all been there, done that. And he must have picked up on my out of breath voice that I found the lions. The agents and tour operators, they forgot about the leopard completely, and they were super happy that we have got some kind of excitement for them. And they obviously thought that, I don't know what's the difference between a leopard and a lion's rack, but nonetheless, everybody was happy. So that's my second story that I would like to share with you from memories of do's and don'ts and what to be able to learn from